Yo guys, welcome to ShayanGaming to a brand new guide on the new champion Pyke. We're going to talk about tips with his abilities, various combos, what to level up, random extra goodies, runes, some item chats, and more. I hope you enjoy. Did you know you can flash while you're charging your Q to get a sneaky shot? When you're holding your Q, if you don't actually use it, you get half your mana back, but you do have to wait for the full cooldown amount. One thing to note about your ultimate is if you use it on an enemy champion, even if you don't execute them, then you'll blink to where you used it. However, if you just use it on enemy minions, then you won't blink. You actually end up exactly where you were when you used it first. Even if you execute the minions, you won't end up there. They're not important enough. And apparently the execution only looks at the champion's health, not at their shields. So if Darius, for example, had a shield of some sort, or there was a support giving him a shield, we don't really care. We just care about the damn health, because that's what we all care about. One thing to note, if you want to kill minions in a line like 2 or more, always auto attack the one behind it and then use your Q, because your Q deals less damage to the minions after the first one. It actually deals 50% less damage. Once again, if we look at these 2 minions, auto attack that one and the one behind it first and then use your Q. If you don't do that and you just Q, well, you're killing the first one and the rest are kind of just left there awkwardly thinking, what am I going to do with my life? The first one's gone. No. And also a nice way of farming under turrets is to just use your E, deal some damage, and then use your Q to clear. And the reason I do the Q second is because you obviously want to last hit with minions. It's not just about doing as much DPS as possible. You want to take those last hits, and Q, you can time it with your Q. But with your E, it's kind of like, okay, you need to wait for the shadow to come, and you don't really know when that's going to be. So yeah, you can use your E ability as a dash over walls, and also for the sudden impact rune, it also counts as a dash, obviously. And a very interesting thing is you can press your E and then W straight afterwards, and you won't come out of your W. This is because obviously you're pressing your E before W. If you did it W then E, you're using an ability, so you come out of it. And this is useful for when you're walking to lane from the base, because obviously you want to get back to base as quickly as possible, and using a dash and then an increased movement speed is obviously a quicker way than just walking. When you've got great health and you want to regenerate it, if you actually come back into vision, you'll stop regenerating and you have to go back into a hidden spot to regenerate. So right now I've got some great health, I'm safe here, but as soon as I get seen again, then it stops regenerating until I am hidden. If you're in front of an enemy champion, obviously you can't heal your grey health back, but if you're away from them and you're just against minions, you do actually heal. So minions seeing you doesn't actually count as not being able to regen. It's only if enemy champions can see you, then you can't regen your grey health. But obviously, to guarantee you get healed as quickly as possible, go into a bush or stay hidden with your W. With your passive, the maximum amount of health you can actually store by taking damage from enemy champions depends on your AD. When you have 125 bonus attack damage, you can store up to 50% of your maximum health. As soon as you've taken damage from enemy champions, you can press W. As long as you're out of the vision radius, you will start healing. And you can also heal when you're in front of minions, it doesn't matter. We're now going to talk about what to actually level up in the game. When you start off at level 1, your E actually has lower mana and lower cooldown than your Q, and it actually deals more damage than your Q. And before we go any further, tapping your Q will always deal more damage than the damage you get from holding your Q and hooking them. And this will come into play later when we talk about combos. Now, if we just look at the E's mana cost, which is 50 mana, 15-second cooldown, let's just write it down here so we can have something to compare it to. And the damage it deals is 115. This is for E at level 1. If we look at Q at level 1, it costs more. It has a 1 second higher cooldown, and the tap, which deals more damage than the hold, deals 93 damage. So for this reason, I like to start off with E. You can get some nice damage off when you've got them stunned and getting those free auto attacks. And also if someone does happen to try and attack you or gank you level 1, you can always run away. But then I'd start maxing Q as soon as you can after you've leveled E first, because once your Q ability is level 2 and higher, so let's just level it up now, it actually deals more damage than your E. And as you level your Q, your cooldown goes down, so now we're at 14 seconds, when before we were at 16 seconds. And as you level up your E, the cooldown actually doesn't change, so it's always going to be 15 seconds unless you buy cooldown reduction. So for that reason, I'd start maxing Q. More damage, lower cooldowns, more awesomeness. And then obviously max your E afterwards, and then W, and obviously ultimate wherever possible. Now, when you're level 1, and obviously we're assuming you're playing top right now, whenever you see a nice opportunity, I just E them, stun them, and take free hits against them. And I do have Hail of Blades Master, Rune on, so your next 3 attacks do have increased attack speed. And then once you have level 2, level up the Q, tap it so you can deal loads of poke damage, and then stun them when you can, deal even more damage against them, and then whenever you want you can just go back into the bush, heal some damage, and to be honest, we could probably get a kill if we wanted to. Now, the technical combo, when you want to go all out, and by technical I mean the cooldown efficient combo. So obviously our Q, because it's greater than level 2, is lower cooldown than E. So it's to Q first, deal some auto attacks while they're slowed, because, well, they're slowed, so it's easier to auto attack them. Then use your E when you can, and then if you want to take some healing time, I don't know why I flashed there, but you know, let's just get some healing and go back again, do the same sort of thing. And then if you want, you can also throw them into your turret, but that's kind of like a nice advanced play that would look really cool. And then ultimate them when you can, and then always straight after. To be efficient, if there's no fights going on, you might as well ult the lane, get it done quicker. Now, of course, you can always W to start off the combo, because obviously if you're going to tap Q, which is the way that deals damage, I'm going to keep saying that because it's really important. If you W and you come up stealth, it's better because you can get closer to them, and obviously when you're stabbing, it's a shorter range than if you're holding it. So we wouldn't need to be stealth to do a long range shot, because, well, obviously we'll come out of stealth and it's not really that useful in that scenario. But for example, we could use our W to get closer so we can use our Q easier and then do our whole combo. But you could also Q and then E straight away, and the reason why you would do this is once you Q, obviously you slow them, whether you tap it or hold it, and once they're slowed, it's easier to line up your E so that you don't miss. Because if you, for example, do this, okay, I was trying to miss, but let's say you miss, then it kind of sucks and it's awkward. Yeah, just a better way of lining it up if you're struggling. And instead of starting with Q, if you see someone's about to do an attack against you, you can use your E to dodge an ability and then get the stun on them and keep doing your normal combo if you want to do that, that is. Oh, wait, what just happened? Can we exhaust? Yes, we can. And we can flip as well, so that's nice. This is why I call it a support combo, only because it's stylish and you can flip them over and then E to the direction that they're going to run away while your ADC is attacking them. And yeah, and like I mentioned earlier about getting back to lane faster, obviously if you want to escape, your escape would be to E so that you stun them, and then immediately pressing W so that you get that bonus movement speed. So once again, E, then a W and run away. And the beauty of that is you also get to heal at the same time without the enemy champion coming near you, because they are stunned. So now let's talk about Pyke's runes that I like to use. I'm going down the domination branch with sorcery as the secondary. Now you could either go electrocute or hail of blades, and the reason why I've chosen hail of blades is because the cooldown's only 5 seconds out of combat, whereas electrocute is 50 to 25 seconds. And given that a lot of the times you can slow quite easily just by pressing Q, then you've got free attacks that are higher attack speed, I feel like it's more efficient. But of course with electrocute, it's quite easy to get the free separate attacks or abilities off. You just Q, auto attack E, or just auto attack twice, and let's say you have 100 bonus AD, you're dealing 100 damage, or even a lot more, potentially 330 damage. And you could say if that is enough to kill someone in a full combo, going at it one time, then maybe the 50-25 second cooldown doesn't really matter because you're getting the kill anyway. Well, anyways, then I've gone with sudden impact because your W is a stealth, your E is a dash, and your ultimate's a blink. So you've got loads of opportunities to use it. And then eyeball collection, because why not? And I went with Ravenous Hunter because once you've killed everyone, being able to heal from all your abilities, which you do end up using quite a bit, is pretty good. And then the reason why I went the sorcery branch is because I feel like you run out of mana a lot of the times, because a lot of your kind of damage comes from your Q and your E, and they cost quite a bit of mana. Refresh your missing mana once in a while is a really great idea, I think. And then you could go for Scorch. I mean, hitting a Q and then having the burn is pretty cool, but I just went for Gathering Storm. And yeah, now this is what I like to call the 60-second first blood. So 1 minute 30, the minions will be here, and by 2 minute 30, hopefully we will have a kill. So we're going to start prepping the wave so that we can take this farm without losing it by using our E. So if we E now, we take that minion, we're dealing some damage, and we haven't lost any farm yet, which is good. Now we want to get ready for our Q. Oops, we missed that minion. That sucks. But we did manage to go into the bush and get some healing, which is always good. Let's just do another round of this before we get our Q. Hopefully Trundle doesn't run away and go back to base, which he could do. We need one more minion, and then, you know what, this is going to go probably longer than 60 seconds because I want to let Trundle push. I think I pushed a bit too much. Alright, here we go. I meant to stun him, not root. And I'm just going to heal myself with my potion. We're going to die, aren't we? Oh no, we did it! We did it. Dope. Before 2 minutes 30. Awesome. Wow, worked first time. I did not expect that. So I just want to explain something strange about Pyke as a champion. Something that is very good to understand. As you can see from the passive, when you buy health, you gain AD. The more AD you have, the more health you can store in your grey health. And this also means the more health you have, because health converts into AD, you can also store more in your grey health. And for your W, the more AD you have, or once again, the more HP you have, the more movement speed you will get that decays when you use your W. And same thing with your ult's execute threshold. The more AD you have, the higher the threshold is, and the same thing with your health. So this is one of the reasons why it's good to build AD/health on Pyke. And CDR is really important because obviously you want to use your Q that deals a lot of damage as often as possible. So let's say you're level 11, you have 30% CDR. Your Q's cooldown is at 5.6, which is pretty nice because, you know, you're using it quite often. You're doing all your combos, and you can just keep using it again, and boom. And just so you have an idea of what it's like at level 18 with 40% CDR, your Q's cooldown is 4.8 seconds, your E is 9 seconds, W is 10 seconds, and your ultimate, just to be full, 48 seconds. So this is what it would look like. You Q, you E, you're attacking, and in 2 more seconds you have your Q again. And Spirit Visage actually lets you heal more than you're supposed to using your passive. So that is very, very nice. And the Gargoyle Stone Plate item that gives you bonus health for 4 seconds means quite a few things. It actually means the AD that you get from your passive is increased, your ult's execution threshold has increased, your bonus movement speed from your W has increased, and the maximum amount of grey health you can have has increased as well, all for 4 seconds. So pretty nice. Oh yeah. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of the new champion, if there's any other rune combinations or combos that you can think of, and yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to stay updated with more future videos, and see you guys in the next one. Adios.